9 threats to your retirement income in 2026. This is a crazy year, guys. There are threats out there that may not, some of these, yeah, but some of these are more accentuated this year than they've been in, say, the past 3 or 4 years. There are a lot of things you got to look out for to protect your retirement income, okay? You can't just sit back and just go, I'll take care of it, man. And I'm getting all this from AOL. Hey, first of all, just a comment. I've had some comments in the past. Sometimes on your videos, all you do is just tell us what you read in an article. Well, yeah, I do. And if I didn't, would you ever see that article? Guys, if I do that in these videos, it's because I think it's something that I've noticed that I feel is pretty important. Okay, and I'd like to relay that information to you. You might not read all the articles out there. That's why I do it. Okay, I try and intermix personal asides, personal experience with good information I find on the internet or whatever. Here's one of those articles from AOL. Number 1, longevity risk. Yep, we're all getting older, right? People are living longer, men and women. It's not like it was 40 years ago where you'd have a pension, retire at say 65 and live another 10 to 15 years, right? In that case, did you really have to plan for retirement? I don't think as much as you do now because pensions aren't there that much anymore and people are living longer. So longevity risk, here's one way to maybe help with that, okay? Now, as you know, I'm a fan of annuities. Okay, not for a large part of your portfolio, but for a decent size. Let's say 20, I don't know, at the most 15% to give you that guaranteed income every month. So you can get what's called a deferred fixed annuity, which you start at an earlier age, but it doesn't start paying you till later in life. Let's say 70, 75, maybe even 80 if there's a lot of longevity in your family. Like my mom passed away at 91. My dad's still going strong at 89, okay? Number 2. Now this is tough to guard against, okay? It's called family matters risk. Guys, you don't know, anytime in retirement, or, forget about retirement, just life in general, things happen to your family, right? This can put a crimp into your life. Also into your savings, all right? Also your time, time is money in some cases. When my mom, I had to help her out before I retired. She had a stroke. Yeah, I had to work remote for 9 months and I wasn't making as much money as it was like reduced hours, okay? Things like that happen. So that's one thing. Now, can you guard against that? It's just life. Life happens, but that is definitely a risk. In retirement, to your retirement savings. What happens if they don't have any money and you have to help them out with health care, stuff like that, right? That's definitely a risk. Hey, for those of you who see me for the first time, my name is Duane, and this is a retirement channel for people on moderate income. If that's something you think you might like, think about subscribing and like the video as well. And if you really like it, down here are 2 other ways you can support this channel. Number 3, asset allocation risk. Okay, now, you hear most people say that the older you get, the more conservative you should get in your asset allocation, right? You could be, 90% stocks in your 40s. The older you get, you should probably tone that down a little. But at the same time, you have to keep in mind that just because you retire doesn't mean you don't need your money to still work for you, okay? You need to be invested in some stocks. That's the way I felt. Now, if you're 62 or 63 like me, definitely. If you get like say in your mid 70s and you are set with the amount of money you have that'll last for the next say 20 years, okay, maybe you don't want to be in stocks anymore. Maybe you want to be something more conservative like, treasury bills or something that give you a guaranteed rate of return every year. If you're older in life, that's something to think about. If not, you still need your money to be working for you, okay, when you're retired. So to me, that means some stocks. Number 3, the withdrawal rate risk, okay? This is something, as we've talked on this channel many times before, you need to have a set way that you are going to withdraw your cash, whether it's the 4% rule, whether it's the bucket strategy, whatever it is, whether it's guardrails, Guys, you got to start researching this stuff well before you retire, okay? Don't wait until you're into retirement and after you've pulled out 10% the first year to live on and go on your crazy vacations, then you decide. The amount of money you pull out earlier in your retirement, the earlier in retirement you pull it out and the larger amount it is can really affect you down the line. Okay, so you've got to have your strategy in place. I don't care. Now, I've been a proponent of the 4% rule. If you don't like that, fine. Find a rule that works for you and stick to it. Number 4, or am I on 5? I don't know. Policy risk. What is this? What comes to mind for you guys when we talk about policy in regards to retirement recently? Social Security. Okay. We don't know where Social Security is going to be 5 years from now. We don't know where it's going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 2 years from now. You know, most time they just kick the can down the street, right, for the next administration to deal with, okay? What I would suggest to you of my younger savers, all right, the younger you are, the more this will probably affect you. Save as if Social Security will not be there for you when you retire. Then when you get to retirement and it's still there, bonus, baby. That's just more money for you. But if you are, say, I don't know, 40 years old right now, especially 32, save as if Social Security will not be there for you. What does that mean? That means bumping up that contribution percentage every time you get a raise, every time you get a promotion. If you think you're going to need a certain amount when you retire, you know, bump that up by like 30, 40%, just so when you get to Social Security age, and if it is not there for you, you'll be prepared. The next one, stock market performance risk. And specifically, I'm talking about this could be the theme of my channel, sequence of returns risk. Yes, I know some of you guys are saying, oh my God, shut up with that, man. I've heard it so many times on this channel. You know why I keep saying it? Number one, because it happened to me 6 months into retirement. You know, a little over a year, I was down $110,000 because of sequence of returns risk. That's why I harp on it, because it can happen to any of us. Any of us. You could retire into a good market. 6 months down the road, it could be a really bad market. Okay. So what is the answer to that? Cash on hand. All right. I don't care who you are. I don't care how much money. Well, okay, if you retire with 50 million bucks, 10 million bucks, maybe not so much. But if you retired on a moderate income plus retirement, you should have at least 2 years of cash on hand. Okay, don't go crazy. You don't need to have 5 years, but I had a little over 2 years cash on hand because of stock market performance risk. In this case, sequence of returns. I can't tell you how much it helped me. If you guys watch my monthly updates, you'll know how much that helped me. The next one, what am I on, 6 or 7? Healthcare cost risk. It's always rising, guys, right? It is always rising. Hey, 10 years from now, I'm sure it's gonna be more expensive than it is now. When we had to put my mom into an assisted living facility about 5-6 years ago, the first one we put it into, because I didn't know anything, was $11,000 a month. The hospital recommended that to me. I had no experience in it, so I figured, oh, okay. Yeah, a couple of weeks into it, I was doing research and I'm like, oh, you can still get maybe not quite as high quality care, but something close to it for half the price. We found a single room for my mom in a nice assisted living place for $4,500 a month. That's still a lot of money. Just think what it'll be 20 years from now. So what's the answer? Long-term care insurance. Look into it. The next one, inflation risk. Okay, guys, especially the last, 3, 4, 5 years, this has been huge. Dare I say huge, right? We don't know you can kind of tell month to month, but let's say from 6 months to the next 6 months, how inflation is going to be, right? There are things that you can look into that directly oppose this. For instance, tips. You know, that is a kind of investment that kind of guards against inflation risks. Okay, inflation goes up, tips kind of make up for that. All right, so look into tips. That's a government investment. Okay, tips, look into it. And number 9, cognitive impairment risks. Hey, could hit us at any time, right? There's some people that retired within 6 months, yeah, it hits them. Senility, early dementia. Guys, that is one of the saddest things because I watched it happen to my mom after her stroke. This was a woman who was walking 3 miles a day. She was sharp, sharp, sharp mentally until she was 87. After her stroke, it slowly started to erode her cognitive abilities. Saddest thing I've ever seen, for a previously vibrant woman like that. Very sad. But it can happen to any of us, guys. It can happen to any of us at any time. We don't know. So what do you do there, man? Go by your family history. If there is a history of dementia in your family, man, get yourself checked out. Okay, do whatever you can to guard against that. What helps for that? Reading. I'm a voracious reader. That's one of the reasons I read a lot, because it helps against dementia. Learn a language. Supposedly, learning a language can help so much keep those cognitive juices flowing. Guys, there's a lot of things that you can do. What does it boil down to? Keeping your mind going, keeping your mind sharp, keeping it challenged, crossword puzzles. So especially if that runs in your family, guys, look into ways that you can, if not prevent that, at least slow it down. So there you go. There are 9 things to watch out for regarding your retirement income in 2026. Threats, dare I say threats. And as always, I don't know if you guys could hear it out here, man, but the wind is howling out here, 30, 40 miles an hour probably. May is the windiest month for us. For whatever reason, it's starting up and it's starting big. And as always, from the lovely high desert, we got this.